Happy Friday. Welcome to our psychic party. So, if this is your first time here, welcome to the forum. I'm so excited that you were able to make it here. And I do see that we have a lot of first timers here. So, before we get into the readings, let me just explain a little bit about who I am and how readings work. My name is Nicole Antoinette. I am a psychic medium. During these, I guess they're free for all sessions, I open up my energy and I allow spirit to come through. Spirit, when spirit comes through, it may be through the form of loved ones on the other side who want to present messages to those of you who are in the chat, and it can also come through your spirit guides, angels, and higher self if there's information that you need to know. So I try to just stay open to whatever wants to come through and whatever is most necessary. Now, I do want to make a few points clear. Not everyone who is here today will receive a reading from me, but I will get to as many people as possible. As I'm doing readings, I don't go in order because the chat moves very quickly. It moves a little too fast for me, and it's impossible for me to keep up. So the readings here are basically a lottery style. Now, if you'd like a private session with me, you can always go to my website at guidingechoes.com and you can order one there. The other thing that I need to say is that super chats and super stickers and stars are always appreciated. Those tips, those financial gifts, do help me to keep this channel going. However, they do not guarantee that you will receive a reading from me tonight. So if you want to tip me because you appreciate the work that I do and you want to keep the channel going, go for it. I appreciate it. Thank you in advance. If you are tipping me and you're giving a financial gift so you can get a reading, just buyer beware as far as that goes. So if I feel pulled to you, I'll answer it. If not, then I'll skip it. And really, it's just dependent on what I'm being pulled to when I am doing these readings. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh yes, so sometimes people come into these sessions and they have a very heavy heart, and they have this idea in their mind that if they don't get a reading, that their loved one on the other side doesn't love them after all, that the universe doesn't love them. I want you to know that is absolutely not true. We are working on a time constraint. I'm human and I can only do so much for so many people here. So if I don't get to you, please don't think that the universe is ignoring you, that your loved ones don't hear you. You being here today sends them a signal that you are open and ready to hear from them. And when you do that, when you show up for events like this, what you're also doing is you're giving spirit an invitation to connect with you. And so perhaps spirit will decide to connect with you through a dream visitation. Perhaps another medium will stop you at the grocery store and give you an impromptu reading. Like, you just be open to how spirit will come forward. If I do not call you out and give you a direct reading tonight, but something I say really resonates with you, then that means that reading is for you too. Spirit sometimes does this thing known as piggybacking, where two or more spirits will come through at once. They have a lot of similarities, and it is their way of, I guess you could say, digging two bones with, burying two bones with one dig. So it's their way of getting their message across to more than one people. So they'll kind of ride in on the same wavelength. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say. So going into this, yeah. So as I was meditating before I came in, or before we started today, I did actually start getting a lot of messages from the get-go. So the first woman who came through today is a mother figure. She passed away when she was pretty old. She might have been in her 90s or even close to 100 or in her hundreds. So I am seeing a very old lady. I'm seeing that even in her older age, she was a little spitfire. She was really funny. I see her with this like mischievous grin, this mischievous smile. She would have loved to tell jokes, play jokes, hear jokes. Very, very fun, loving woman. And I do see that she's showing me a cane, and I'm also looking at her legs. So I see that she would have definitely had issues with walking towards the end of her life. But I think that these issues with walking, mobility issues, would have probably happened even as early as 20 years before her passing. And I am feeling something as far as her hips. So we do see mobility issues there, and she is just like so bright and she's so fun. So I do believe that this is somebody's mother. So again, we have a mother figure who passed away at a very old age. She's very funny. She's probably a comedian in her own head. I see that she was very independent, and even when she got to the final stages in life, she still valued her independence very, very much. So, and I feel like she was an inspiration to a lot of different people. And she was definitely one of those people um, who knew how to make the most out of even a bad situation. And this woman just seems like she was very very friendly, and she was into the card games and the board games and things like that. So very, very fun lady coming through. The message that I get from her is just to, enjoy life, make the most out of life. And she is making mention of how she's kind of got a grumpy old lady vibe to her, because she's like, because she's talking about when she was your age, when she was younger. She's like, we didn't have to worry about any of that crap. And what she's talking about when she's talking about worry about all that crap, she's talking about keeping up with social media, because I see her making a reference to Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all of that. So I think she would have always been critical of social media, but at the same time, I also see that she would have really enjoyed the pictures that her family members would have been posting. So if someone like grabs the phone and was like, hey mom, look at this, and showed it to her, she would have really enjoyed that. So that's something that would have made her it would have made her very happy. So even though she was critical of social media, she actually secretly liked it, because whenever someone showed her memes or pictures, she would have really liked it. Okay, so that's the first person that has come through. So there was someone else. Let me tune in and see who else wants to come through. Um, all right. Um, I'm getting a reference to the 4th of July and also flowers. I feel like I'm looking at a grave. Um, so I believe I'm looking at a wife who is taking flowers to her husband's grave for the 4th of July. I also see that there's some other family members in that area. So I'm not quite sure why the 4th of July would have prompted her. I'm not getting that. July might have been close to a birth year or a birth date too. 4th of July might have been close to a birth date. But yeah, I see someone bringing flowers to this gravesite, and I feel like, yeah, it feels like it's in reference to her birthday. So I don't know why I'm seeing the 4th of July. Maybe that's when she went and delivered the flowers. Um, And I'm trying, okay, sorry. See, this is where things can get a little iffy for me sometimes, because I'm trying to figure out if the person I'm looking at is in spirit and is showing me that she used to deliver flowers on the 4th of July to her husband. I think this is a spirit who's showing me what she used to do. So it might have been that her husband's birthday would have been around the 4th of July. And she has a very peaceful demeanor about her, and she's actually not giving me a lot of information. So whoever this is for, it could simply be that she just wants you to know that she's around you. And I think that sometimes spirits will come up and they give validating information just so we know that we're not alone. And I feel like that's what's going on here. So if you visited I almost said a website, a gravesite, and you brought flowers, she's making a reference to that. She's letting you know that that she's around you. Okay, let me see who else we've got coming through here. All right. So now I've got a gentleman coming through. I am getting that this is someone who would have really enjoyed poker. I'm also seeing that he would have enjoyed Western. So he may have had a cowboy mentality about him. I am seeing the typical like cigars and cigarettes and whiskey. I don't know if it's whiskey actually, but there is definitely some alcohol. So this is someone who definitely has a whole cowboy mentality. I see that this is someone who loved westerns. Um, it- Possibly just watched a lot of TV, watched a lot of westerns. Would have loved western TV shows. Let me see what else. Again, I feel like I'm picking up on someone's. I feel like this is someone's husband. So, can anyone take that? Does anyone have a? This is definitely a male figure. God, it does feel like a husband to me. So male figure on the other side, loved poker, would have enjoyed playing poker, would have gone to. This feels more not so much a casino poker. This feels like going playing poker with the buddies. So like garage, someone's house, guys' night out. Probably would have also done um, fantasy football sort of things too. So this person likes to gamble and also did the drinking and the smoking and would have enjoyed westerns. Can anyone take that? I'm looking through the comments right now. I know that there's a little bit of a lag here. Also, thank you everyone who's been submitting the super stickers, very much appreciated. There's been 3 so far that I've seen. So Pamela Bassett, thank you so much. Michael Cronston, thank you. Let's see, we have Shannon, thank you, Shannon. And there was another one here. You scroll down. And Sylvia, thank you so much for your gifts. Okay. Let me see who else we've got coming through. All right. So my grandpa was a chain smoker, westerns, and the alcohol. Okay, Brittany, that's probably who it was. Mary Ann playing pool. Yeah, I mean, I think so because this person feels like he's totally into. I want to say bar games. So when you go to a bar and you see the billiards, and sometimes you do have the people, the guys there playing poker. So he was very much into all of that. And the person I'm getting is he means what he says and he says what he means, and I feel like he's very curt, direct, and to the point. I don't see him being a big talker. Oh god, there's an actor that's popping up in my head. I can't remember his name. He is in a lot of westerns. More, he would have been big in the 80s and 90s. um oh man, it's gonna come to me when we're done watching this. When I'm done with this, I just know it. so so, anyways, yes, he is. So this gentleman is coming through, and let me see what the message is for you. He's coming through with so much compassion, and he's saying, just hang in there, darling. He's saying, just hang in there. And so this is a man that would have had he has a soft spot for the women in his lives. This man does. So whether that was his wife, his daughter, whoever it was, the women that were special to him, they would have had him wrapped around their pinkies. um yeah, he definitely had a soft spot for them, but I could see that he could still be like short with them too, like Kurt, you know what I mean? But he did not like to see a woman cry. He did not like to see a woman in pain. It just made him feel so helpless and powerless. And this is a man who was definitely wanted to be like the man of the house, but not in an abusive way. This is just, he wanted to make sure tummies were fed, like everyone's needs were met. So he hated knowing that he accidentally hurt anyone through something that he would have said or done. He did not want to let the women in his life down. So he has a huge soft spot. So again, he's saying, just hang in there, darling. And that's I wish I could give you more, but you know what that means. And so I'm just going to go ahead and send him over to you. I do hope that you feel his presence around you, because he is very warm and he is very caring. And he is giving off this very gentle energy, right now. Okay. So let me see who else I can pull through for you. Ah, I all of a sudden got like a really bad cramp in my foot. That's not fun. Okay. Hopefully that's not a spirit communication. Does anyone have a spirit on the other side who would have had a cramp in their foot? Complained about that? Probably not. I think it was just the way I was sitting. Okay. Let's see who else we've got going on. Okay, so I have another woman coming through. I have a woman coming through. She is overweight. I see that this is someone who had, oh man, this person's coming through and showing me how she looks. That's rare. Okay, well, let's do this. So I see an overweight woman. She has very thin hair, very, very thin, fine hair, kind of greasy at the top. I see her being, I want to say a cat woman, but I don't think it's just cats that she had in her house. It feels like she had quite a few animals. So I think that there would have been cats. There would have been at least one dog, but maybe more. I feel like I'm seeing a bird. And this is someone who struggled with depression. And I also see she would have had a difficult time holding a job. Um, and so I think that it was really hard for people to know. Um, she was difficult to put along to get along with, I'll put it that way, and she didn't mean to be. It's just she was depressed, and I do feel like there was something else going on, another chemical imbalance with her. She's also showing me whiskers, so I feel like she would have had an extreme hormonal imbalance as well, and that had to do with how overweight she was, and she wasn't taking very good care of herself. She loved her animals very much, but I see that she didn't take the best care of them. And I think that when people came over, they would have noticed that her house kind of smelled, because she didn't care for the animals and clean up after them very well. It doesn't look like she's a hoarder. She actually seems like more of a minimalist, but I also see. Oh man, this woman was like living as if she was in poverty, but I feel like she had money. She just didn't have a lot of motivation to really take care of herself. So I feel like this depression was the result of an invisible sickness she might have had. So it might have been an autoimmune disease of some sort. There's something going on there. And I am getting reference to someone who took their own life. So I don't know if she took her own life, or if this depression and shock to her system was caused by someone she loved who took their own life. So there is a reference to there's a reference to that. Okay. And her message is that she's also telling me that she passed from COVID. So she was someone who got COVID and she passed from that. Um, so I feel like it feels like this would have been a couple years ago. Okay. Um, and she was very lonely towards the end. And she had also pushed away a lot of people. And she didn't do it on purpose. It was because she when people get super depressed and they're not functioning well, and they accidentally cut people off because they don't return the phone calls and they don't return the texts. It's one of those sort of a things. I feel like this woman may have been, she had money, so I don't know if she was retired or on disability, because I see her hardly ever leaving her house. She did leave her house, but not very often. But it's like all of her payments were automated, so she didn't have to worry about it. And it's why she was able to be kind of lazy. And I do see that yeah, she was on disability, because I see there being something going on with her work. She did have some type of a I think an office job, but I also see her working at like Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that. So I don't know. I hope someone here can take this. I'm not really watching the chat. I'm paying attention to, oh, okay, Kim. She had pets and thin oily hair and had ovarian disease. Okay. That could be who this is. Yeah. Um but I'm getting that this is someone who would have had COVID and passed from that. That's what I'm feeling like anyway. Again, this is a possibility where there could be two spirits coming through at the same time, because I do feel like there might be a little bit of an overlap with someone else. So the message is that she's okay. She loves you dearly. She's actually very happy on the other side. I see that she has reunited with, of course, her friends and loved ones, but it does feel like most of her family members are still here. She's making reference to her father, so I feel like her father has her father on the other side. Oh, she has two dads. So this is a stepdad and a biological dad. Okay, so one of them, that's why I was getting a little like, what's going on here? So one of them is still here on earth when she passed away, and the other is in heaven. So she did reunite with one of her fathers, or a father like figure. I feel like it's a stepdad. I feel like there's a stepdad involved in this. But she's doing great. She's very happy. And she feels so light. She feels very lightheaded, or not lightheaded. She feels very light, like a weight has been lifted off of her shoulders. And so that's what I see. Okay, this is my friend. You're talking, Mindy, that you're talking about. She was on disability, had polycystic disease, died almost 2 years ago, and had cancer. She may have gotten COVID because she passed. Yep, it's her father. Yeah, this is her. This is her, Kim. Oh man, I just got goosebumps. So she's doing so good. She was 44. Yeah, that looks like about the age. Yep. Yeah. Um, and I mean, she did look older than that, but that's about the age that I would have put her in. And the only reason that she looked older than her age was because like her skin was starting to, um, it's like acne and breakouts, and not so much line, but dryness. Her skin was getting really dry. Okay. But yeah, she's doing so great. I just had a dream about her. Oh, okay. Yeah, so she's doing good. She's so happy on the other side, and she wants you to know that. And she feels, and I don't know why this is important, but she's telling you that she feels feminine, because I see her wearing a dress, and I see her just doing like this little, like, I don't know, like she's holding her skirt in her hands kind of, and she's like, doing this happy twisty motion. So she's very happy. And so she wants you to know that. And she says she's sending all of her love. And I feel like she's saying, I want to say she's asking you to check up on her mom, or tell her mom she said hi. So there is a reference to that, or maybe it's your mom. I don't know if your mom knew her. The message is a little jumbled in the way that it's coming through. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and send her to you, and we'll see who else comes through. Tonight's session is going to be a little bit shorter, because I do have a meeting after this. And yeah, so let me see who else we have for you. Okay. Oh no, Peg. Peg says, our internet company was out all day until just now. I was so happy to join. Well, you're here at the right time, because we've got about 8 minutes left. So let me see who else we can get for you. Okay. This is an odd one. This isn't mediumship. I just had an image of two angels, and they were grabbing a man by the arms and hauling him off. So what that means is that someone who's watching this was wronged and has been praying for justice, and it's going to happen. This man is going to get caught if he hasn't been already. I want to say the court case is going to go in your favor, but this man is not going to get away with it. If I had to put an age on him, this man looks like he's maybe in his 50s or 60s, 50s or 60s, somewhere around there. He's definitely not young. I'm not getting 30s, 20s or anything. So he's 40s. I'm trying to figure out if he's one of these that looks a lot older than he actually is. And I'm also getting a reference to I want to say possibly drugs. He looks like he might be into drugs, and I also see there being maybe a missing tooth or something. I don't know. Or at least some type of mouth issues. I don't know why that would be coming up, but anyhow. So you've been praying for justice. This person did something really bad. You've been praying for justice. I don't know if you've been praying that he'll get caught, but if that's what you've been praying for, he is going to get caught. Justice is going to be served, and you don't have to worry about it. So angels are taking care of it. The justice system is taking care of it. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that went to whoever needed it. Whew. All right. Let me see. Who else have we got? Okay. So remember how earlier I was talking about piggybacking? This was a piggyback message because it's actually more than one of you that are in the situation. There's actually 3 of you watching, so I don't know if this is going to be someone who is here live or someone who is watching the replay. But there's 3 of you who are in a similar situation, and it is a man that needs to be caught. And for one of you, you know what the crime was and you don't know who did it. You've just been praying that this person will be found, and they're going to. And the other 2, you guys know exactly who did it. And I do feel like with all 3 of these criminals, they're all male. I'm not getting that as a female. I'm getting that all 3 of them are male. Okay. Let's see. I have let's see. I've got time to do one more, and let me see who I can pull through. I have a gentleman coming through. He looks like a pilot. He's very much a gentleman because he took his hat off and he kind of did one of these things where he put it under his like when you watch movies of when you watch older movies and you see a pilot and they take their hat off and they kind of do one of these things. So he's being very polite and taking his hat off and a very polite greeting. I feel like this is a gentleman. Charming smile, charming man, genuinely nice. So yeah, I see him being a pilot, and I do feel like this would have been a professional pilot too, because I feel like I'm looking at a jetliner. I don't feel like this is someone who would have been doing the smaller airplanes, although he would have been able to fly those too. And I do think he owned his own small plane, or at least he rented one. I do see that he had access to one that he would use. I want to say for personal use. And actually, the more I'm tuning into that, that almost feels like it would have been a side hustle where he might have been doing, you know, how you can go on those weekend flights where you can go on a smaller plane and they'll just, you know, fly you by the coast. So it's like a sightseeing, more like a sightseeing tour. I see that being something he would have done. Okay, so this is a man who would have passed, I see, from a heart attack. And I think he would have, it feels like he would have survived. It feels like he would have had some type of heart issues. And I think there would have been a minor heart attack that he would have survived. And then later he did have the big one. And I feel like the big one would have shocked everyone because even though his diet wasn't perfect at that point, he had cleaned it up a lot. And it feels like this would have been on the cusp of some type of medical procedure. So not necessarily a surgery, although it might have been, but I do see he would have been to the doctor or hospital just a couple weeks before, and it feels like he was on the mend. And so I see that this was something that was very shocking to the family and to him. Whew, I don't know what his relationship is to the person I'm reading, to the person that he's coming through for. This does feel like a husband. Feels more like that vibe because I'm not getting so much. I think he would have had kids. Um, yeah, and I do feel like the heart attack would have taken place in his home. Paul sounds like your dad. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Um, yeah, it feels like the heart attack. I see the heart attack would have taken place at home, and he did have. Yeah, this is a man who had kids, and I do think that his wife would have found him or seen him, so she was there when this happened, I believe. Yes, he died at home suddenly. Okay. All right, so he's coming through, and he has a huge smile on his face, big smile on his face. Oh, it was last year. I'm so sorry, Paul. Oh, that's pretty fresh. Yeah. So he's coming through. He has a big smile on his face, and he wants you to know that he's doing just fine. He has so much love for you, and I want to say respect. And I feel that you would have spent so much of your time wanting to get the respect of your dad, and wanting him to know that you respected him. So there is something about that, something about respect among these men, right? And and he's telling you like he respects you. He respects you as a man. He respects you um as a person. And there's just so much love that he has for you. And what's fun about him is even though you're an adult, it's like he still had this way of treating you like you were a boy, and not in a demeaning way, but more just like he still liked to have fun with you. Like I wouldn't be surprised if as adults you guys were still outside like playing catch or something like that. So you were always precious to him. You know, he always saw you as his son, and he always saw you as someone that he wanted to protect, and that he wanted absolutely the best for you, absolutely wanted the best for you. And I'm also getting reference to, and I don't know if this is him telling me this or if this is me tuning into things psychically. I feel like very soon things are going to turn around in a very positive way for you. I feel like there's going to be they're not telling me what it is. I'm just getting like there's going to be this big positive change in your life. And I feel like they're keeping it a surprise. And I feel him and like other people on the other side getting excited for you because it feels like this is something that you've been wanting, that you've been praying for, that you've been longing for. And so, whatever that is, um, I want to say you're about to get it. And if you don't get that actual thing, then the opportunity and resources are going to pop up very soon for you to be able to get whatever it is that they're talking about, but they're very excited for you. So yeah, things are turning the corner for you. Things are about to get better. I want to say that I want to make reference to your health, that you've been doing a better job of taking care of your health as well. So he's making mention of that. I don't know if he's telling you to drink more water, if you've been drinking more water, but there is a reference to water. And I also see that your health is doing better. So, of course, I'm not a doctor, so this is all just intuitive, peer to peer, information. But I do see your health getting better. I do see that becoming better. And I see you being very happy as well. Like I just get this huge sensation of joy bubbling and bursting off of you. And I think that you're about to you're on the cusp of hitting a season of blessings, and it's going to be really good. So hang in there. Um Oh, you're getting your degree in writing. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations, Paul. That is so very cool. Yay, Paul. Woohoo. See, it's a psychic party. So we're doing a party for Paul because he's getting his degree. Woohoo. Good job. And he says, oh my God, yes, my health is getting better. Yeah, I want to say it's about to get a lot better. A lot better. So keep at it. Because everything is elevating. Everything you're doing right now is you're doing it right. And your dad is just so proud of you. Big old smile ear to ear is what I'm picking up on from him. So all right. Um okay, my friends. Well, that is it. Joshua, with regards to the man carried off by the angel, are you picking up on the crime this man did? Eh, okay, so remember there's three of them. And I do feel like for one of them, there was a taking of life. And I'm not really sure the other ones. One of the other one that I tuned into felt like he was abusive, and it felt like there would have been property damage. And I'm not sure about the other one. So we had couple things going on there. Diana, yours caught my eye. My husband finished cancer. I'm concerned about him being cancer free. Um, I want to say keep an eye on it, but overall, I'm getting a good feeling about it. I think that in a couple years there might be some type of concern, but I don't know if it's around that. So I'm just tuning into this a little bit more. I always want to be careful when it comes to things like this, because health is so sensitive, and things like that are very sensitive too. But I feel like overall he's going to be fine. I feel like your husband's going to be okay. Um, I do see his health getting better, and it's gradual. It's gradual, so it's not like going to be an overnight thing. Um, I feel like in about 6 months he's really going to feel more like himself and be more of himself. And yeah, I'm getting in. There is going to be, it's not a relapse, it's a scare. Okay, so there's a difference. It's not a relapse, it's a scare. So there might be, in a couple years time where it's going to seem like he's got the symptoms coming up again, and you're going to be like, "Oh my god, this is I can't believe, it's going to cause anxiety." It's a scare. I don't feel like it's going to be the return of that. It feels actually more like he ends up contracting the flu or something, and it has the same symptoms. So and I feel like this is coming forward for you because you're going to be watching him like a hawk. Like every time he sneezes, there's going to be a part of your heart that jumps a little bit, right? And for good reason. And so I feel like one of the reasons that this is coming through is it's almost like you're being encouraged to find different ways to, I want to say, manage your anxiety, because I think that in a lot of ways this may have affected you more emotionally than it even did him. So this has been very, very difficult for you. And I know that you've been praying and you're like, God, I'm not ready to lose my husband. Don't take him away from me. Those prayers have been heard. Those prayers, from what I can tell, have been answered. So just continue focusing on health. Just continue focusing on doing the best you can for him. Make your intention health, make your prayers and vibration health. Even look around your house and see what you can do to make the environment of your home healthy. So, having fresh plants out, having out flowers. Are the colors in your house uplifting, or are they kind of dull and boring? Just think of different ways that you can shift the mood of your home, even because even our home environments affect our bodies, affect our cells, affect all of it. And of course, we all know that there's a psychological component to the way that our bodies manufacture disease and how they deal with stress. And so that said, I feel like it's really important for the both of you to find ways to cultivate calmness, especially after everything you've just been through. And I actually just got an image of I want to say it's the two of you floating on a pool. So I don't know if you have any plans for anything like that. And this may not necessarily be a vacation. It could be a pool that you have or that you decide to get. But I do see the two of you floating around on pools, and I do see there being some I am seeing a drink with the straw. So just yeah, I feel like that's the message. Just do your best to cultivate peace and relaxation. So that's what I have for you. My friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate so much that each of you took time out of your day to join me, to be here for this very special night. And remember, if you didn't get a reading, that doesn't mean that the universe doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that your loved ones didn't hear you. It simply meant that there were other people that needed to get a message. But you being here opens up the door for spirit to communicate with you. So if something I said resonated with you, then take that to heart. That is still a message that you can take, even if it wasn't directed at you. If I was speaking to someone else and giving a message to someone else and you got goosebumps and you got chills and you're like, this feels like it's for me too, then it was. And you can trust your gut on that. And you can trust spirit when things like that happen. Okay. It's a magical thing. Readings and psychic stuff, it's so much fun. It's a little bit of an addiction, I gotta admit. So, and if you would like, of course, to order a private session with me, you can go to my website at Guiding Echoes. And I do want to say this. I know that many of you are struggling financially. Please do not allow the cost of these readings to prevent you from reaching out to me. I will work with you on your budget. Okay. So if you can't afford the full price, I totally understand that. Send me an email and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Because I don't want that to get in the way of your ability to reach out to your loved ones to get any guidance that you may need, or even if you're at a point where you want some spiritual coaching, let's talk. Okay. So you can always email me at hello@guidingechoes.com. So, the universe loves you. I love you. Your loved ones on the other side love you. Just by being here today, you have opened the door for spirit to communicate with you. So I would not be surprised at all if over the next few days or even tonight you get a dream visitation, or if you start getting some amazing synchronicities and positive signs. When you show up to things like this, especially when you show up to things like this frequently, you are giving spirit permission to work in your life, and spirit does. So I'm excited for each of you because I know some good things are ahead of all of you, for each of us, in fact. So, all right, my friends, again, thank you for joining me. Have a fantastic weekend. And before I forget, how could I forget this? I'm going to be on a radio show next week. I said I'm going to be on a radio show. I'm actually starting a radio show next week. This isn't a podcast, it's an actual radio show. So be sure that you follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. My first show is actually going to be on Tuesday. It's on the, I believe it's the UPRN network, or maybe it's URPN. I probably should have written that down before I came live today so I could give you the full 411. But anyways, my show is going to be Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I will have the information to it on Instagram and on Facebook. And I'll shoot you guys an email too. So if you're on my email list, you'll get an update on that too. So during that show, we'll talk about all things psychic. We will have different mediums and psychics on, and they will interact with the audience, and they'll also give you guys free readings as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I am super excited about it. So, all right. I know this is my third time trying to sign off. So we're third time's a charm, right? Have a blessed weekend. I will see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.